Hey guys, it's Ibrahim and Emalia. Welcome
Yo.
back to our channel. Today we're discussing how to level up your relationship.
Yeah.
You.
So we've been getting questions about how our relationship has grown over the course of the years, and we thought we'd share some of those knowledge gems with you guys. We're by no means gurus, but
Yeah, just a caveat, we are not gurus.
yeah, but these are just things that work for us, So
Yeah, the tips and tricks we've got, aren't they?
let's dive in.
So the first thing, and arguably the most important one, is that we set boundaries quite early on in our relationship. And no, not boundaries like you can't do that, you can't do this, but boundaries in the sense of like, this is something that might trigger me, might upset me, I find disrespectful, I'm not too bothered about. Like, it's kind of just setting the course for like how you want your relationship to go.
Also, I think that's a good point there, is that boundaries don't necessarily need to be associated with negative things. They can be like positive in the sense of, oh, like this doesn't actually really bother me. Like, there are some boundaries that are like in that sense as well. So it's just, giving your partner an understanding of, like I said, what you feel is acceptable and what you feel is unacceptable in a relationship.
And something that we often say is, you're two completely different people. You've been brought up differently. You're going to communicate differently. You're going to have different triggers. Like, that's a completely normal thing in your relationship. Yeah, by setting these boundaries, you can kind of have more confrontational conversations.
Yeah.
Now, if one of you doesn't enjoy those types of conversations or isn't used to that, it can obviously...
Yeah, it can be difficult. The conversation doesn't necessarily flow as easy as, oh, I feel like this, you feel like this, that kind of thing. If someone doesn't like conflict, the example that we're given is me in this situation. I'm not a big fan of conflict. And the boundaries thing, because you may have opposing views on a particular boundary, or, oh, well, I don't understand why you feel that way about X, or whatever it is, that can result sometimes in a bit of disagreement, a bit of conflict. But something that we've learned to overcome, more so from my side, at the start of our relationship, in terms of the conflict isn't always a bad thing, it's just a method around the problem.
I think through the years we've definitely learned to meet each other halfway. Like 4 years ago, I wouldn't necessarily say that we were able to do that, but looking back at it now and seeing how far we've come, we're a lot better at listening to each other.
So point number 2 is fitness. Now, this is obviously quite a big topic, but like having shared goals within fitness and both sort of striving to improve one's health, because that kind of combines. If you're both working on each other and like you're both working on yourself, to sort of improve your health and fitness, that will only benefit your relationship overall, because not only will you both be healthier, but all the other hosts of side benefits of like exercise in terms of mental health and stuff will also help with the relationship itself. We had a shared goal of running a half marathon, so that was kind of the element of how we're going to do this in terms of training and
the
like plans and going out on runs together and all that kind of thing. And the going out on the runs together was cool and stuff, and it helped. We had conversations and talks on the run or whatever, but it's that overarching thing of like you're both striving for the same goal, and you're one of you's there to pick the other person up if they ain't feeling it on the particular day, or vice versa. And
even from like an emotional perspective, like seeing your partner achieve their goals and something they've really wanted to do is such a rewarding feeling. And like I know it's vice versa, like us achieving that half marathon, like when we started training, it was so much fun to do it together and have that as like an enjoyment, like a hobby. Like it felt like we were improving ourselves, but also our relationship, because we were both feeling better within ourselves, showing up better for our relationship. And I really do think that exercise, when it comes to relationships, is so underrated, because it really does help kind of fuel that fire of you want to do better and be better. And like, you do it obviously from a longevity perspective, and I understand that, of wanting to be there and show up when we have children and be healthy. I also do want to be healthy, want to be a healthy mom, like a healthy partner. But yeah, from an emotional perspective, I think just seeing your partner achieve their goals and you achieve yours, and just seeing how like they say they're going to commit to something and they do it, whether that be a half marathon, that kind of replicates into your own relationship. Like that commitment is like an attribute that I think a lot of people in relationships look for, I hope.
But the main thing is exercise is basically the crux of a lot of side benefits to your relationship, outside of just the physical health benefits of being fitter. And like Em was touching on then, it kind of breeds those traits of like discipline and commitment and stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly,
which again come back into the whole element of the relationship side of things of, okay, well, I can show that I'm very disciplined in one area, i.e. fitness, so I can use that discipline across in other areas as well.
Take the words right out of my mouth,
So yeah, man.
I was basically trying to say that.
If you're already doing exercise, amazing. You should be for loads of other reasons anyway. But if you aren't, or if you are but your partner isn't, and you're kind of like, oh, it'd be great if try to get them on board, then definitely have a conversation with them about it. Definitely try and see what would get them motivated, whether it's you guys go out on walks after dinner every day, or you both get into paddle or you both get into like whatever it is, any form of exercise. It doesn't have to be like running a half marathon or lifting crazy weights in the gym. It can be whatever.
Yeah, it can be whatever suits you. And even if it's like just a sport that you guys want to do together as a hobby, like you were saying, it just breeds so many amazing traits that I think that most people do look for in partners. So yeah, I think that's a really big one for us, was getting into fitness, and that's pretty much our main like area that we've leveled up in.
Yeah.
The third one, I kind of want to touch on this a little bit, not massively, but I think for us is realizing that you don't have to set these massive unattainable goals to level up. That's not what leveling up is about. People think that, and they think, oh, I'm going to strive for this and strive for that, when actually leveling up can just be the small daily tasks that you do.
What Ems is trying to say there is also prominent in the book Atomic Habits, which some of you may have read, some of you may. It's like basically about how to sort of properly build habits and stuff over time, and ones that will actually stick with your daily routine. About those sort of incremental improvements, the small ones day by day, which over time will obviously compound, as opposed to being like, oh, I'm going to do crazy big change tomorrow, and it's like, okay, well, how sustainable is that really?
But the point of this is trying to say, like, to level up and to do that together is maybe don't set your goals so huge. It's great to have those goals. It's great to have things that you want to achieve in life and to be ambitious, of course. And we do that, and we're huge goal setters. But also just to remember, like, the everyday is so important too, and it's the everyday that will lead you to those goals.
Yeah, you kind of want to have like a big goal, a long-term goal, and then you kind of either want to break it up into, okay, how do I get to that goal? What do I do tomorrow to get one step closer, and then just worry about that. That's probably the way. Yeah, that's probably the way to do it.
The way it feeds and helps into the leveling up of a relationship is that you're showing up day by day and you're doing that together to reach your goals. And I think like that's an important thing, but it's to make the goals attainable and to make the habits sustainable instead of something that isn't.
Yeah, true.
That's the point of this. The fourth one is we learned about my menstrual cycle together. Now, if you guys don't already know, we're actually online coaches and we coach couples together. So I think Ibrahim had to learn this because we coach couples together. But also when we started training, it was a topic that I got really interested in, and then ended up just speaking to you about it. And like the more I educated myself, the more I wanted to talk to you about it. But learning the different phases that I'm in and that my body is going through, and how that then affects our relationship. If there's days where I'm in my luteal phase the week before my period and I don't feel like I have a lot of energy, it's kind of communicating that to him and being like, look, hon, I'm feeling a bit down bad. Like I'm in this phase. If I'm a little bit more sensitive to arguments or things like that, like I'm making you aware of that. I think that's something that females kind of forget to do, and I know it's not our fault because it's a natural thing and we're so used to it and we've lived this way for however many years, but our partners don't necessarily know that. So I think they're not mind readers, and just kind of educating them a little bit on like what's going on inside our body and how that's affecting us can then help your relationship and benefit it, because then they're aware and then they know like how to not be around you, but
they just
what's kind of physiologically going on in your body.
Yeah, it's just more, you're just more aware of what's going on. Like you would never go out on a night out and just drink an alcoholic drink and not know like the strength of it. I know this seems like it's going off topic, but in the sense of like,
I don't know where he's going. Ladies,
listen,
this ain't my man.
It says that having that sense of awareness is key. I can drink 5 beers or I can drink like 2 shots and I'll be like, whatever, get boozy or whatever. And it's like understanding that, having that sense of awareness, why would you not have that within stuff that goes on within your own body?
Definitely,
and that's kind of how this conversation started in our relationship in terms of the menstrual cycle stuff. I was really big on understanding my own body and what goes on and all that kind of stuff, and then kind of was chatting to Ems about it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of mad that you go through these different phases, but you have no idea, like,
literally,
other than when they happen, maybe you have no idea of like
you don't
how
know the
change.
Intricacies of what's going on inside your body.
You don't need to know it on like a cellular level of, oh my god, these cells are now doing it, but it's more just on a general, all right, how is my mood going to be outside of just, oh, I'm a bit sensitive now, I'm a bit moody now. It's like, okay, what's actually, am I going to be feeling a bit more hungry? Am I going to be feeling a bit more tired? Am I going to feel like, how is that going to affect my training and my goals and all the other things that we've touched on?
But doing that can level your relationship up, because being aware of how you feel then allows you to show up better for like your partner, allows your partner to be more aware of you. And like, even, I don't know, whether it's the week before my period, my training isn't as intense, kind of communicating that to Ibrahim, like I feel a certain way, making sure I hydrate a lot during that week, things like that has really helped us in our relationship. So
definitely, that's a key one actually behind obviously not as big as boundaries, but it's not far off, to be honest, because
Yeah, I agree.
does
I think it's been a
does
huge one.
play such a part in terms of you're with this person, they're going to be going through these phases. You kind of need to know what the deal is with the different phases, because it's going to be it's not something that's going to go away after like a couple of months of being together, or like it's going to be around for a while. So yeah, you kind of need to be clued in on what's going down. Your cycles, folks.
In our social media series, so on TikTok and Instagram, where we're doing our leveling up, we are also talking about all these topics as well. So this is one that we're touching on at the moment. We've gone through the follicular phase. We're now currently doing the ovulation phase. Then you've got your luteal, then you've got your menstrual. I think we just want to make you guys a little bit more aware of your phases and how your partner can help you, whether that's training, whether that's just day-to-day life.
Yeah, just shine a spotlight on it, man.
Yeah,
it's good. It's going on in the background, whether you put a spotlight on it or you don't. So you might as well just learn a bit about it, because
it's going to continue too.
Yeah, exactly. For anyone that's curious, by the way, guys just operate on a 24-hour cycle. So the testosterone peaks in the morning, and then it slowly sort of like comes down over the course of the day until like the evening time, and then obviously just resets the next day, which is why guys are a bit more like just ready to go, kind of feel the same pretty much each day. There's no like drastic changes.
That for them. Obviously, whereas for females it's a monthly cycle, so your hormones can shift throughout the entire month, and there's never really a phase where they're consistent. It constantly changes, really.
So it's constantly like somewhere on the cycle.
So yeah, obviously we function very differently, whether that's in the gym or just day-to-day life. But that's just because of the physiological changes in our body, so it's also being aware of that. The next one is we gave ourselves grace. So I think we were just a lot more aware of like our differences, and that, you know, I'm not always going to show up every day as the best version of myself. Ibrahim's not always going to show up every day as the best version of himself, and just kind of realizing like we're not perfect. We are not perfect humans by any stretch, and like although we work very hard to better ourselves, we work very hard to show up as the best versions and, you know, be that it girl and it guy, like we aren't. And I think it's just remembering that like this is an imperfect world, and like you're going to have arguments, you're going to have conflicts. And I think just the fact that you care about one another, you show up for each other, you speak kindly, you speak calmly, is the main focus here. Obviously that you love each other, but I think that's just really important in relationships, and not being too harsh on yourselves. You know, if your partner is treating you kindly, then great. And something I was chatting to my friend the other day, we went out for a walk and we were just talking about how like in this world, people are so quick to like dump guys that like don't give them what social media shows. Like, oh, we didn't pay for our meal. Oh, we didn't do this. He didn't do that. Oh, well, I don't need him. I don't need a man. And like, I think this is so prevalent in today's society of like, we're pickier. And I understand we're pickier for reasons. Not all guys are great. Not all females are great. I know. But I think like when you have someone who is willing to try and willing to put the effort in and will show up for you and will try, I think that's the most important thing. And as long as they're not being disrespectful, they aren't cheating on you, they aren't, you know, talking badly about you behind your back, like obviously all the typical things. If they are a decent guy, I think like give them time.
You're not going to just land into a new relationship and both of you just be perfect from minute one. Like, it's just not going to happen. So if you hold yourself to that standard of, oh my god, like we're never going to have an argument, or we're never going to do this, or we're never going to do that, then you're always going to fall short of that at some point. And then you might be like, oh, is this person really for me? Because now we've argued and that's not going to breed like a healthy, thriving relationship, because you've set those unrealistic expectations, because you believe that you or them or both of you are perfect. So it's only going to lead to disappointment.
And we're not saying have low expectations of your partner. Of course not. Of course you should have high expectations. You should have a checklist of all the things you want. Like, don't get me wrong, I did that one before I met Ibrahim. I very much had a list of all the things that I want a guy to bring me, and this and that and that. But at the end of the day, like when you meet someone who's loving and kind, and yes, a few of the other things on your list, whether that's ambitious or hard working, that is the main thing. Like,
and it's also about
they don't need to tick every single thing on the list.
No, you can have a list, cool, but it's also you're trying to just find the potential of someone to grow into the things that will tick on the list.
Unless you right there can say, look, I tick every single thing on your list and I am absolutely perfect, fine. But the reality is you're not going to be perfect. So the reality is you can't expect that from another person. That's not what you bring. If you're completely healed, you've got zero trauma, then yes, I can understand that. But like, most humans can't do that, can they?
No, they can't. That's true. And the interesting thing called the Michelangelo effect, which is where over time you shape your partner into the ideal partner, but without like it being really obvious and bait. And it's kind of just like over time, like things that they'll do and like habits that you like can be passed on to the partner. But anyway,
do you think when you first met me that I was like your dream partner, or do you think I've become your dream partner?
What my dream partner was when I was 20 is different to what my dream partner
Oh,
is when
I
I'm
completely
25,
agree, yeah.
and what my dream partner will be when I'm 32 and
Yeah.
whatever. So, yeah.
When we first met, we're very much like, we had that physical attraction of like, oh, we both fancy each other. You could fancy a lot of people. Like, relationships aren't about, oh, I fancy you. No, they're about like what you bring to the table. Can you imagine this person being raising your children? Like, what morals do they have? Like, how do they hold themselves?
Fancy gimmicks are only going to last so long. And then at some point it's going to be like, oh, right, okay, I do fancy this person, but they don't treat me very well, they don't appreciate me, like, oh, this isn't going to work kind of thing. So obviously it's easier said than done. You don't know that from just meeting someone, but that's why you kind of need to go through the things like setting the boundaries, having the conversations, just so you can learn more about the person and then be like, oh, right, is this person actually for me? Yes, sweet. Oh, are they not? Oh, maybe not. Okay, fine, maybe we need to part ways, or it's the option of, okay, is this person for me? Yes, but do they and I kind of need a bit of work on ourselves to sort of level us both up? Yeah, we do. Okay, cool. Let's try and get that work in place kind of thing.
When we first met and I'm telling him all about me and like my life and how I feel and this and that, and then he's a little bit more reserved, I used to be quite like, oh, does he not like trust me with his secrets? Does he not feel this way or that way? But it just took me time to realise that we are just different people. When he does open up and he does talk, he is very loyal and very like trusting. It just took us different times to come out of different phases. Like, it took me quicker to open up, took him longer, but at the end of the day we're both still very trusting, very loyal. Like,
but again, because it goes back to the point of you're both two different people, so you're like, it's unlikely that you're both like, we're both massive people that overshare on the first day.
And I wouldn't want us to both be like that. No. Imagine how that would be. I'm oversharing, you're oversharing. We're both sat there like, oh God, great. Well, there's nothing to learn. Like, there's something really lovely about being with someone who's different to you. And there's so many traits I've learned from you that I had to nurture within myself. Like,
same.
And I think that's been really lovely. Like, I've become a lot more patient, a lot calmer with things that usually I wouldn't feel that way about. But because I've kind of learned that from you, and you've taught me that. What do you love about me?
Wait, who says that?
What is your favourite thing about me? Should we tell everyone?
Your emotional intelligence.
Wow. What about my emotional intelligence is...
What?
Do you love?
The levels of the emotional intelligence that you have. Your ability to understand and read rooms based on an emotional level, not just on a logical level.
Do you know what Ibrahim does now? He goes, I'm reading the room... I'm sensing I'm not going to make a joke.
Yeah.
I'm sensing
keep the joke up here.
There's something here I can't make a joke about. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, we love that for you, King. One is respecting each other's individuality. Now, this is something that we're still learning, still growing. I think having a couples channel, we're still trying to find the balance between having our individuality and also, you know, working on our business together. And that's quite consuming. But I think finding that's a great way to level up is having a relationship and having your time, but also finding time for yourself in different ways. Like whether that's my hobbies of, I don't know, reading, journaling, go to Pilates, whatever it is, and yours is PlayStation, running, paddle. I think finding those hobbies and nurturing them individually is good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely key because you don't want to lose your own traits or your own, like, not traits, but you don't want to lose your own, like, interests and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, like, you aren't both joint at the hip. So there'll be times when, you know, you are doing things separately, and if you've lost all of your own interests that you used to have, and then you're on your own for like a weekend or a day or whatever it is, you're gonna be like, oh, well, I don't know how to act anymore by myself. Like, you need to keep those things that you enjoy yourself, definitely, for sure. As long as there's nothing crazy, like that's going to be detrimental to your relationship, then definitely need to
like your hobbies is kissing girls.
Then obviously you can't keep that hobby. We live together, we work from home together, we have a business together,
we go to the gym
together. So there's a lot of areas of overlap. So in that case, it's even more important for us to stick to some individual
Routines
elements and stuff as well, and individual hobbies, because like so much of our life is overlapped and together. Obviously, if you don't live with your partner, you don't obviously have a business together,
course,
you don't work from
go see
home,
them.
then we're not saying, spend the only free time you've got doing your own hobbies, because you should probably go see your partner because you don't see him a lot. So it's obviously contextual and depends. But
it's just finding what works for you in your relationship. Like for us, we usually prioritize evenings alone. Like evenings are very much spent on our own, whereas most relationships, I don't know, they probably spend that together because they work in the days apart. But for us, we wake up, we go to the gym together, albeit we do train separately a couple of days a week, but pretty much like we'll spend 9 till 5 together. So when 5 hits or 4 hits or whatever, what time we finish our working day, we then decide, look, you go in there, speak to the boys, you go out, speak to the boys, I'll go and do my own thing, and then we'll see each other again tomorrow. Obviously, we sleep together in bed, but I mean, like, that evening time of, like, 5 to 10 is, like, there are hours where we're on our own, and it does work for us, but I think we also have to try and find that balance of the 9 to 5 is still work hours for us.
The little bonus extra one to add is that we try to get a date night in once a week, whether that's at home or out or food or whatever it is. It's just some kind of time carved out of the week where we just spend it talking about us, talking about our relationship, talking about like doing an activity, just having a bit of fun. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy or expensive or whatever, but it's just that allocated time. Kind of like, when you're in school and you have like golden hour or like golden hour, that's what we used to call it. I don't know if it's something else or not these days.
I can't believe you're comparing our relationships.
Just a weekly date. Like, there's that time like a Friday afternoon or Thursday afternoon, you have the golden hour, and it's just like, this is just for like nothing else.
Yeah, I do get that.
Fun time. And it's just the same thing, but we just call it date nights, and we just sometimes go play mini golf or whatever it is. But
but it's worked for us, and it's a way to kind of still nurture that relationship. And like, I know we said, at the start we had the conversations about conflict and boundaries and all that stuff, but I think like that still happens in your relationship. That doesn't change. You don't have those conversations at the start of your relationship and go, great, we're all fixed, love that. Like, Ibrahim is evolving as a person, I'm evolving as a person, we're evolving, I'd say at similar rates, but we're still evolving. And I think remembering that we're growing and that our opinions are going to change on things. There are some things that, you might have done 2 years ago that I would have been like, don't do that. Whereas now I'm like, I'm evolving and I'm learning, that's okay, that's fine. Like, that's
also
it's a more mature mindset, I would say, is we're both taking on.
I would also just quickly add onto this that the conversations and boundaries you have in place at the start are cool, but like as was saying, you evolve and change, and what you experience at the age of 21, by the time you're 30, you've experienced a load of other life events, which will then impact how your boundaries sit. And some of it will be you've matured, cool, but other things will be like, I don't know, if you've always worked separately in different offices and you don't see each other during the workday, and then you both get work from home jobs when you turn 30, you're going to need to set some boundaries there of, all right, look, in the daytime, don't come into my room between the hours of 9 and 4 because I've got back-to-back calls, whatever it is. Whereas you would never have had that boundary conversation 5 years before because you both worked in an office separately. So
I get that. I think the point's kind of more for like, if you have children, like,
It encompasses all parts of life.
Yeah, okay. But that's very true. And I think remembering that, I've got a little child now because he's got a bit bored with the video and now he wants to do this. So I think we're going to have to go, guys. It's his evening time. He's got 20 minutes. PlayStation starts in half an hour. Again, all relationships are different. All individuals are different. You guys need to find what works for you. And if you're feeling loved, valued, supported, respected, that is the main part. And if you're not, speak to your partner about it. And if they love you, then they will help and they will change. And if they don't, then bye, you don't need them.
Find your partner, cuz.
So this is just a little glimpse into what has helped us grow in our relationship over the last couple of years that we wanted to share with you guys to see if it could help you in any way.
Hopefully you can pick some bits out of it that you can take into your own lives and stuff, or you might already be doing all of this stuff we've already mentioned and gone, actually, you guys have forgot X, Y, Z. If so, then just
put it in the comments.
Yeah, drop it in the comments.
We need to start doing it.
Yeah, try.
But if you guys want to continue obviously watching us and seeing our Leveling Up series, it's going to be going ahead on TikTok and Instagram, where we're going to be discussing all things like this: menstrual cycle, food tips, nutrition, health, everything like that. Then do give us a follow on both of those platforms. We really appreciate it. It's about growing together.
Yeah, thriving together.
Doing this good old thing called life together.
Exactly. and you're both doing life for the first time. So yeah.
Guys, we're going to leave the video here for today.
Yep.
We hope you've enjoyed our little leveling up together video. Do give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to see you guys in the next video. Let us know if there's anything you would like to see next on the channel.
Yeah. So that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.
We love you so much.
Peace.